Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an all-new reaction and review. Tonight, guys, I'm checking out a horror film from 2014. That movie is It Follows. Now, I would like to say that I know a lot about It Follows, but really, I don't. I remember shortly after it came out, a lot of people had asked me if I was going to cover it for reaction and review. I had never heard of it at that point. I knew nothing about it at that point. Eventually I found a copy of it on Blu-ray for about $3. I decided I'd buy it specifically for this series, and still didn't know a whole lot about it. I had one coworker who was telling me a little bit about it. It sounded a little bit stupid. I just watched the trailer, and apparently it's about this woman who has sex and is now being followed by, I guess, the personification of AIDS. And she has to pass it on to someone else, otherwise this physical manifestation of AIDS is going to up and kill her. Now, they do not directly say AIDS, but goddammit, it seems like such a heavy-handed anti-fucking sex thing. It's like, she has sex, and the guy passed it on to her, and now it's going to kill her, and it sounds really fucking stupid. I just want to say, I had no idea going in. Now, perhaps maybe I shouldn't have bothered watching the trailer. My hopes are kind of low on this one, guys. This looks incredibly stupid. I feel that my $3 may have been fucking wasted. But hey, who knows? Who knows? Perhaps, honestly, it was just a bad fucking trailer and the movie itself's gonna actually be decent. I'm certainly hoping so. And the only way I'm gonna find out, guys, if this thing is any good at all, is if I shut up and I push play. And I'm gonna do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out It Follows. Alright, I got kind of a stupid question. So this guy just told her all of the rules about the phantom sex beast that he passed on to her. Is there a reason why he instilled all this information after tying her to a wheelchair? Is there a reason why he didn't just leave her there for the sex beast to get, and then, you know, he can go about his merry way and not have to worry about being followed by it anymore? Like, moreover, why did he tie her to a wheelchair? That's... Oh, yeah, so now he can wheel her around and show her the nude woman, sex beast, demon, phantom thing that's following her because she fucked him in the back of his car. I'm sorry, guys, this whole plot, it really is fucking stupid. I'm kind of hoping for them to make it better. I'm certainly hoping that it, you know, gets interesting as the film goes on, but as of right now, kind of doubting it. So, I have to ask, guys, because, this movie's been going on for almost 40 minutes. I kind of feel that this has to be asked. When does this supposed horror film get scary? Because, okay, yes, she's being followed by this demon thing. It's topless. It's pissing all over her kitchen floor. But none of that's frightening. None of that's scary. When this thing took the form of an old woman and was slowly meandering towards her on her college campus, it wasn't scary then either. When it was fully nude and, like, wandering towards her and the dude who passed it on to her in that shitty looking building, it wasn't scary then. It's a horror film, for fuck's sake. It's supposed to at least attempt to be frightening. This isn't. There's nothing here that's even remotely close to frightening or fucking suspenseful or chilling. It's just boredom, tedium, and god damn it, I was really hoping for this thing to be better, guys, but so far, I really don't think I'm in for anything good. No, wait a minute, wait. So, if this sex demon phantom thing is just gonna go down the line and get everybody else who, you know, had it previously, then why the fuck even bother passing it on? Like, this guy, this Jeff goofus, he seems so hell-bent on passing it on to her, even though, you know, it's gonna get him eventually once it gets her. The only thing he's doing is just fucking longing shit. God damn it. You know, guys, I would love it if this movie would try to be clever, try to be witty, try to be interesting. Shit, it's a horror movie. I'm still waiting for it to do something frightening that's not a cheap bullshit jump fucking scare. But no, this movie really isn't offering anything. Its plot makes no fucking sense. Our characters are shallow and dead-eyed, and just everything about this movie sparks a fucking failure. God damn it. And I've got, like, what, another... Goddamn, thank God. I've only got about 45 minutes left, so at least my misery is almost over. So, when the sex demon phantom thingamajig finally finds its newest victim, it kills it by fucking it to death. I would love to say that that is the dumbest thing I've seen, but really, I wouldn't really... I honestly would not expect less from a movie which is this stupid and is this absolutely obsessed with sex, to have the sex demon kill you by fucking, because after all, that's how you picked up its curse in the first place. God damn. I can't wait for this movie to end, guys. It is so close to being fucking done, I can almost taste it. And, oh god, this is just getting more and more painful to watch, man. God, I just want it to end right now. So I guess this is the big final confrontation between our Scooby gang of retards and this nameless, retarded sex fucking phantom. And you know what, guys? There's nothing of interest here. This is just as stupid as everything else I've seen in this movie. They put no effort into this thing, man. This movie, according to BloodyDisgusting.com, was the scariest movie of 2015. It must have been a shit year for horror movies if A, a movie made in 2014 is the scariest in 2015, and B, this son of a bitch is even in the fucking ranking for scariest of 20... God, this fucking sucks. Well, guys, that was It Follows. Thank fuck, that shitty thing is done. Jesus. Fucking Christ. Okay. Fuck me. I just... Wow, that was bad. I guess I just kind of gave it away there. This movie was shit, man. I'm just gonna be straight up on that. I guess I should try to hammer out the positives first, because this movie does have a handful of positives, and I really don't want those to get lost in the shuffle here. I do want to say, the acting here is decent, okay? The acting here is fine. In fact, the acting's good, considering the dead fucking dialogue that everybody was given. Everybody turned in a pretty damn decent showing in terms of acting. Our camera work is really good. Our sets look nice. I kind of like the fact that the movie seems to be set in some weird nebulous time in the fucking 1980s, because there's nothing in this movie that looks to be newer than, 1987. So that's awesome. I have always liked movies that kind of take that kind of intense attention to fucking detail. All of that looked... All of that was fine, alright? Our camera work, our time period, our costuming is fine. The acting here was good. It's just, and also the sound mix was solid. It's just... The problems, guys... I'm going to start with the smaller problems, and then I'm going to work my way up, alright? So, I just want to get this out of the way. I just listed every positive I could think of, alright? Our sound mix was good, our lighting is good, our camera work is fine, our sets look awesome. The fact that it looks to be set in some nebulous point in the 1980s was certainly cool, and the acting is decent. Unfortunately, all of that gets lost in the fact that I'm going to start with music. I'm going to start with the fucking music, because Jesus Christ, it's not often I get to bitch about music. The score in this movie fucking bites ass. Most of it is digital fucking distortion noise, and the rest of it is digital fucking distortion noise that's trying kinda sorta to sound like... It's trying to kinda sound like a fucking score. Problem is, most of it is still just fucking like distortion and feedback and other such stupid bullshit, and it's less music and just more an annoyance on the fucking ears. The problem with that is, none of that music helps set any tone this movie is trying to set. This movie is trying to be a horror film, so you would think you'd have some kind of a creepy, almost like sweeping horror score. That would make sense. You don't have something that sounds as if Philip fucking Glass shat it out in 30 seconds. Yet that is what we get here, is we get subpar wannabe Philip fucking Glass nonsense, and it doesn't fit the tone of the film. It doesn't fit it doesn't feel like it fits in anywhere in this movie. and it stands out like a sore thumb, and it probably wouldn't be so bad if the score wasn't so unendingly awful. Jesus, shit. Now, that is the minor negative, because the big negative, guys, is the fucking writing, okay? And the writing, there are multiple levels of problems involving the writing in this fucking movie. I'm gonna start with the characters, because there are no fucking characters. Everybody here has a fucking name. I couldn't tell you the name of a single goddamn character in this entire film, except for our main character, Jay, and that's because everyone always has to call out her name because she's constantly running from the sex phantom. Let's touch on that too, since I just summed up our characters. There is no personality amongst any of them. Our creature in this movie, our monster, is some kind of a phantasm, poltergeist thing that passes through sex. So the moment that you have sex with somebody who happens to have this phantom's curse, now you have the phantom's curse, and you can see the sex phantom. I'm going to continue to call it the sex phantom because they never give it a proper term in this fucking movie. And because the only way to see it is if you fuck the person who has been hit with this curse, and it is effectively a phantom. The fucking sex phantom just seems like the best term to give it. There is no real explanation as to how the fuck the rules of this whole sex phantom thing work. And guys, I'm not talking about the, oh ha 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 thing when it came to like Gremlins, where like the first two rules make sense and then the whole don't feed them after, midnight thing is a little bit nebulous and goofy, and they were able to pick on that in Gremlins too. No. I'm not talking about like a single fucking rule that stands out and makes you go, that's fucking weird. No, nothing about this makes any goddamn sense. Okay, I would love to have heard the origin of the fucking sex phantom, because I want to know at what point did this thing become a sex phantom? At what point did it start passing from person to person? What about, like, things that aren't just, one on fucking one sex? Like, what if instead of fucking the two guys at separate times, Jay fucked both of them in just sort of like a three-way thing? Are the both of them then hit with the curse? Which one then gets, slammed by the sex fucking phantom first? What happens if Jay was in like a massive orgy with like 35 other people? Are all of a sudden the 35 other people all also hit with this fucking curse? And in what fucking order is the sex phantom going to wipe out all of them before going after Jay? See, guys, this movie was so fucking boring, and I'm going to get to the boredom part in a second, that it left me wondering this shit because I needed something to keep my fucking brain active. Because not a goddamn thing happens in this fucking movie. It has the pacing of a glacier. No, correction, I can't even fucking say that because glaciers move. The story goes nowhere. It's like, so Jay fucks this random fucking dude in a car, then he fucking chloroforms her, informs her that she has this curse, and then she starts running, and then she tells her friends about it, and then her friends think that they're nuts, and then she fucks one of the guys, and the guy just thinks honestly that she's just fucking making it up. He just basically wanted to fuck her, and then the sex demon gets him, and so now the rest of our little Scooby fucking gang have to fucking run. They cook up this idiotic plot involving throwing hair dryers, TVs, and lamps into a fucking pool. That absolutely failed fucking miserably. So then Jay fucks the other guy, and the end. Literally, there is no fucking closure. The both of them are kind of stuck with the, sex phantom until the sex phantom finds them and kills them. That's it, the end. All of that would have been fine if this was maybe like a 20-minute short film, because really, I just gave you about enough plot to fill a 20-minute short film, not something that's an hour and fucking 40. Okay? That means that there is an hour and 20 minutes, roughly, of fucking padding where nothing happens. There is literally no forward progress in the story. There is no forward progress in terms of character depth, because there is fucking none. There is nothing here. It's a movie that drags on, meandering for a fucking hour and 40, and jack shit happens across an hour and 40. the only thing that really happens is that this movie is trying to set forth this fucking heavy-handed anti-fucking sex, message, because again, they never fucking say when exactly the sex phantom became a thing. You never know exactly who has been hit with the fucking sex phantom AIDS fucking virus. So, yeah, it's like, so really, like, the whole thing is just basically saying sex fucking kills. I have seen less heavy-handed bullshit in fucking anti-sex Christian films, for Christ's sake. This thing is one of the most heavy-handed films I have ever watched that has tried to bludgeon the viewer over the fucking head with a preachy goddamn moral, and it doesn't even really fucking work. It just sort of falls, flat. There's nothing in this movie. And, the biggest sin of all, which is worse than the lack of a story, is worse than the lack of character depth, is worse than the lack of pacing, is the lack of frights. Guys, I'm going to tell you, there's one jump scare in this entire fucking film. One. There's one genuine jump scare that might actually get you. Beyond that, there's nothing. There's nothing here which is going to make you feel tense. There's nothing here that's going to make you feel, a little bit fucking frightened. There's nothing creepy, nothing eerie, nothing spooky. There is no horror in my fucking horror film. Jesus Christ, I have never been this let down by a horror movie in my life, because every other horror flick I've checked out has at least tried. They've tried something outside of, we're just gonna pop out this fucking wall, ooh, jump scare. No, fuck you, and fuck the dickless prick who wrote this goddamn movie. It Follows is the worst horror movie I have ever seen, because it barely qualifies as a movie, and it has nothing frightening in it. There is no horror in this thing. There's barely any movie in this thing. Guys, I would probably have had more fun watching an hour and 40 minutes of a blank fucking screen. Okay, that is how terribly written this fucking movie is. And it's nothing short of a miracle that the fucking cast actually turned in something when they weren't given shit to work with. So I fucking give the maddest props to the entire cast. At least they fucking tried. Which is more than we can say about the writer. That's more than we can say about the motherfucking composer. Just, god damn it. Guys, there is nothing in this movie. Am I able to recommend It Follows? No. Fuck. No. Guys. I want you to go back to the 500 plus episodes of reaction and review I've done up to this point. The 559 other episodes I have done prior to this one. Look at every single horror movie I covered across that time. Every single one of those is infinitely better than this son of a bitch, because at least they tried. Devil at least tried to make Toast frightening, and it was laughably stupid, but at least that was a fucking effort, which is more than I can say about It Follows. This movie is shit. I would not recommend this thing under any circumstances. If you are looking for a bad movie that you and your friends can, mock and riff, especially around this time of year when it's really popular to watch bad horror movies, there's infinitely more fun shit to watch than this, okay? This movie has zero reason to exist, and I was so bored watching this son of a bitch, I actually was looking up a little bit of info on it. Apparently they are working on a sequel. No, I am not going to cover the sequel. I hope that sequel never fucking happens. Because there was nothing here. There is nothing to build off of. There's nothing to make a sequel out of. Oh, unless we want to follow more people being stalked by a sex fucking phantom. I have another question about the fucking about the sex phantom. Why does the sex phantom have to shapeshift every single time somebody all but blinks? Because I swear to God, there was this one scene where where the sex phantom it breaks into Jay's house. When she first sees it, it's fucking topless. It is a topless woman, and it's pissing all over her kitchen floor. Then she runs upstairs and she tells her friends, oh my god, it's here, all that stupid bullshit. And then by the time it gets upstairs, it is a 7-foot tall dude. out of no, why the hell did it shapeshift between the kitchen and upstairs when nobody else has the fucking curse? By the way, if there's nobody else who has this, like, sex fucking phantom curse, why the hell does it even have to take a human shape? Why the hell does, I mean, especially since, okay, or better yet, because I can kind of understand why it would want to take a human shape. Here is a better question. Why the hell does its form have to be so fucking ghoulish? Why does the form it take have to essentially have like blacked out eyes and be pissing on the fucking floor? You know, it's like there is already enough of a sign. The fact that it always wears fucking white, you know, that right there should already be enough of a fucking sign. It should look totally natural minus the shockingly all white clothing. And it does it once, and it's the one time when nobody's fucking looking at it and Jay has her back to it. So the one time it could actually try to blend into a fucking crowd and not seem horrendously out of fucking place is the, oh my god, so the one time it actually makes that effort is the one time it doesn't fucking matter. That is the problem with this fucking movie, is that there's no sense put into it. There's no sense put into it. There's almost no story. There are no frights. There is nothing chilling or frightening about this film. This movie is shit, man. And I could probably sit here and talk about it even longer, but I'm telling you right now, the more I fucking think about it, the more fucking pissed off I am that I pissed away $3 goddamn on this fucking movie. That is $3 I am never going to see again. I have never felt this ripped off in my entire life. Guys, if I would have walked into Family Video and threw down $3 for the son of a bitch and the case was empty, I would have felt less fucking ripped off, alright? Because at least that... Because, frankly, then I wouldn't have had this worthless waste of fucking plastic. So, you know what? No, guys. I am not going to recommend this movie. I need to go do something else. I need to go find a good horror movie. I've got plenty of them I've got plenty of them on my fucking shelf. I'm going to go find something. I don't know what yet. I'm probably just going to go grab a giant pile of them, and I'm going to marathon the fuck out of them, because, god damn it, I sat down here expecting to see a horror movie, and I saw what could only be described as fucking anti-film. Fuck this movie, and fuck the people who worked on it. Fuck the fucking writer, director, producers, and that worthless, talent-challenged composer. There is nothing in this film that is worth watching. Now, I'm gonna go find something else. I'm gonna go watch something. I don't know what. Hellraiser, Puppet Master, Perfect fucking Blue, Reanimator. I don't know. I'm gonna go find something. I'm gonna go watch that before my head just caves in from the massive amount of absolute abject failure I just fucking watched. Anyway, guys, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.